President Trump deployed during the campaign, the Trump White House will speak to all media outlets and personalities, not just the legacy media who are seated in this room. Because according to recent polling from Gallup, Americans' trust in mass media has fallen to a record low. Millions of Americans, especially young people, have turned from traditional television outlets and newspapers to consume their news from podcasts, blogs, social media, and other independent outlets. It's essential to our team that we share President Trump's message everywhere and adapt this White House to the new media landscape in 2025. To do this, I am excited to announce the following changes will be made to this historic James S. Brady briefing room, where Mr. Brady's legacy will endure. This White House believes strongly in the First Amendment, so it's why our team will work diligently to restore the press passes of the 440 journalists whose passes were wrongly revoked by the previous administration. We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House.
Woo!
And you can apply now on our new website, whitehouse.gov/new media. Starting today, this seat in the front of the room, which is usually occupied by the press secretary's staff, will be called the new media seat. My team will review the applications and give credentials to new media applicants who meet our criteria and pass United States Secret Service requirements to enter the White House complex. So in light of these announcements, our first questions for today's briefing will go to these new media members whose outlets, despite being some of the most viewed news websites in the country, have not been given seats in this room.
Dude, now we're talking. So let me tell you, first of all, this is absolutely amazing. Here, I got to remove this lady. This is so amazing, man. I'll share my personal opinion of why this is so amazing, but give us a little bit more facts about the context of this.
Yeah, so giving the audience a little bit more context, back in the Biden administration, there were 440 journalists that essentially lost their privilege to go into that White House press conference. Primarily, and they lost their ability to obviously ask questions and speak. A lot of these guys were conservative media and also Christians who were asking the right questions. Here's another fun fact about this particular case. The front row, as you probably saw in that video, is going to be reserved for new media. So essentially, Trump is acknowledging that there is a new media in place, and that new media has probably a louder voice than the conventional media, the CNNs and the NBCs of the world. We're hoping and praying that Kap makes that particular media. So Kap, and I'll let you kind of disclose the news, but we're seeing some sort of media revolution, and I love that. And the last thing that I want to highlight is that they made a very good emphasis on no longer the media will control, or the government will be controlled by the legacy media. This is awesome, primarily because we're seeing Joe Rogan and Patrick Bet-David and Sean Ryan, a lot of those voices giving interviews to Trump and to the presidential debates that have more viewership than legacy media. So Kap, right. I'm excited. I'm praying and hoping that obviously, the Kap Chatfield show makes it into one of those cuts, but who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you soon in that press conference, I'm saying.
Dude, that would be crazy. Yeah, so we applied. We officially applied. Here's what I want you guys to do. I genuinely want you guys to pray. Please pray for this, because I don't know how many of you guys have heard like what my genuine desire is, but it's one of the reasons why we're making the big shift on this channel to focus on current events, talking about what's happening in culture from a biblical perspective. I really felt like the Lord wanted to bring some more clarity to this show, or this channel specifically, because the reason why this channel even grew in the first place was because I said yes to the Lord and talking about what's happening in the culture from a biblical and spiritual perspective. And so we're seeing this happen right now, where now all of a sudden independent news sources are getting the invitation to get like literally the front row of the White House press room to like ask questions and to really dig deeper into what's happening in this country. And my prayer has been, Lord, I want to be in these rooms. I want to sit at the table with these people. For a while, I was actually not even wanting to be a cultural commentator. I didn't even want it. I saw the direction of my YouTube channel about a year ago, and how my Kap Reacts videos were performing so much better than my Bible study videos. And every time I did a live Bible study, I would literally get net negative subscribers, which it's not about. Don't hear me saying like it's all about the followers and all that sort of stuff. But the reality is that I was looking at the data and I was trying to say, God, what are you really breathing on right now? And he said, I really want you to do these reaction videos. And I was like, oh, but Lord, I want to just like I just want to talk about your word. And I don't want to like be pigeonholed, or I don't want to be categorized as just like another political commentator and talking about things that, like, I don't want that. I want to take people deeper. I don't want to just be in those conversations and all of that. And here's what the Lord said to me. He said, just because you're entering into the same conversations as the world doesn't mean you need to say the same thing. And that really freed me up. I was like, you're right. We should not have less infiltration of these conversations as believers. We actually should be having more. We should be stepping in. I believe that we're in a day and age where the church is actually going to be like a city on a hill, is actually going to be the light of the world, is actually going to be the salt of the earth. The Deuteronomy 28 promise that we would be the lender and not the borrower, that we would actually be the leaders in culture, shaping culture before Jesus comes back. I believe it. I'm seeing it. We're literally seeing it. We're seeing it happen right before our eyes. God is making a way for people who otherwise like would be at the it's like Esther. It's a season of Esther. You have this woman in the Bible who was like the least of these. She was a Jew in the middle of the Persian Empire, and she gets elevated to this place where she's earshot of the king. She's literally able to weigh in to what's going on in the kingdom on behalf of her people. And we're seeing God raise up Esthers all over the place who will be able to actually sit with kings and weigh in and bring a biblical perspective. And I'm here to say, Lord, send me. I'm in. I want to do it. If you want to send me back to where I came from, I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm from the crazy town of Washington, D.C. Left Washington, D.C. to go to the University of Miami. I went into the University of Miami an atheist, had an encounter with God halfway through, and God showed me why he gave me the gifts that I have for communication, marketing, film, all that sort of stuff, and it's for his kingdom. And I want to be repositioned in these places. So please pray. Would you guys pray with me? Pray that God gives me favor with this application process, and that I'll get it. I think that'd be super fun. And here's what I'd also encourage you to do. Please subscribe. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. This will be the current events channel from a biblical perspective. The Kap Chatfield YouTube channel, the main channel, is the channel where we talk about what's going on in the world. If you want deeper spiritual content, if you're like, Kap, I believe it, I'm saved, I want more, I want to go deeper in the faith, make sure you subscribe to my other channel called Directed Life. Scan the QR code to go to the Directed Life YouTube channel and subscribe. 2 to 3 hour interviews and monologues. We go really deep in the faith, but consider it a separate room. It's like the inner room. That's the inner room where the disciples meet, and this channel is meant to really reach the lost and help people understand who Jesus is. Amen. Hey, if you enjoyed this clip and you want to see another one like it, you can click the video over here. And if you want to watch a full episode of the Kap Chatfield Show, you can click this one right here.